Hi, I'm Kurt Baumgartner. I'm here today to give you a speech about hemodialysis. And you might be sitting there asking yourself, Kurt, why are you giving me this speech and why are you here? Well, I'm going to tell you. In 2007 alone, 26 million American adults were on hemodialysis. That means that Medicaid paid over $33 billion just to help support these people get their treatments. And you might still be asking yourself, okay, how does this pertain to me? Why are you asking me this? Well, as an EMT or a paramedic, and with 26 million Americans being on hemodialysis, you're going to run into a few. They're around. So, I'm going to explain to you why some people are on hemodialysis, some of the issues with hemodialysis, and how hemodialysis works, just in case you run into these patients in the near future. I've been an EMT for 2 years, and I've been in private EMS for about a year now. Almost 80% of my patients are on hemodialysis, so I've been around them and been able to talk with them about their treatments, their options, and that kind of stuff, just to get some information. So first, let's talk about some reasons people go on hemodialysis. The first and most often reason is end-stage renal disease, or ESRD as it's capitalized. Many people get ESRD later in life, and it's usually due to the choices they've made in life that pertains to food, drinks, smoking, anything like that. Any of those are risk factors for ESRD. Another big risk factor is high blood pressure, which also predisposes you to stroke, cardiac issues, and that kind of stuff. So ESRD patients usually cannot eliminate fluids. When people have ESRD, their kidneys start to shut down and they can't balance their electrolytes effectively. And you might say, okay, electrolytes, they might be dehydrated, whatever. Well, that's actually false. Electrolytes can have grave issues, especially when it comes to the heart. If you have too much potassium or too much sodium, you can actually go into cardiac arrest and die. And you might say, okay, they can't pee, big deal, whatever. That is actually a big deal. That can raise your blood pressure, and it can also, like I said, predispose you to other issues. So just to review, ESRD is bad. You want to avoid it at all costs. Drink a lot of water, don't smoke, don't eat fatty foods, and exercise. That's what you do that and you'll have a healthy and long life. So secondly, we're going to talk about how hemodialysis works. It sounds like a big word, really confusing, and honestly it's really not. Hemodialysis, they basically take your blood out, they filter it, and they put it back in your body, in the short way of saying it. So step one in hemodialysis. When a patient first finds out that they have ESRD, they usually go to the hospital and get a port, or sometimes called a fistula, put into their body. They're usually either under the clavicle and the subclavian vein, or in the arm of the brachial artery. So you might ask, okay, why do they have this? Well, when they go to hemodialysis, they actually use needles to access those ports, and that's how they get access to the blood to filter it and take the fluids off. So step two, after the patient is already hooked up to the machine, the blood is cycled out of the body into the hemodialysis machine to take off excess water, excess fluid, and to help regulate your electrolytes. Treatments take anywhere between 3 and 4 hours, and most patients are usually there 3 to 4 times a week. After the blood is filtered, the blood is to return back into the body, back into the normal circulation. Now, when patients go to hemodialysis or dialysis, they're weighed when they come in and when they leave. This is to monitor how much of the excess fluid is removed from their bodies, so they can tell how well their treatment went. Also, about once a week they usually do tests on the blood to see their electrolyte levels, their cholesterol levels, to make sure that they're managing their issue properly, so they can be well taken care of and live longer and happier. So, the third step is problems associated with hemodialysis. Just like anything, any kind of medical treatment, there's always risks, there's always issues. So one of the main major issues is sepsis. And this is when you have an infection, you get fevers, chills, whatever. That could be a sign of an infection, and that can have grave consequences. It can actually have a systemic issue with your whole body, and your heart can shut down because of it. And the reason most people get septic is because the kidneys can no longer eliminate the toxins, and also when people skip their treatments, the toxins build up in their body and they are not able to get rid of them. Another side effect, it's not as big of an issue as sepsis, is extreme fatigue and weakness. Whenever a dialysis patient comes off of their treatment, they're almost always fatigued, tired, sleepy, trying to pass out because their body's been working hard to circulate the blood. They also are usually very cold, so they require some blankets or having the heat up. Even if it's a summer day, remember, it's about the patient, not about you. So, let's review. We've talked about why patients are on hemodialysis, how hemodialysis works, and some of the issues with hemodialysis. Just remember, 2009 or 2007, whatever year, $33 billion were spent on hemodialysis. Don't be one of these patients.